So next, we were really thrilled to try and have a local activist speak with us. Cheyenne Anderson is here with us today, and she is a student at Bosque School. We were able to reach out to her and see if she was interested in speaking with us. And so if it's okay, I just want to read a little bit about Cheyenne's background. Cheyenne is Istaksitali. I might not be saying that right, Cheyenne, I apologize. She's Hickory Apache, Chichimeca, Michica, Chicana, and Irish. And she's an activist, artist, photographer, and environmentalist, and an aerialist with Circo Latino. Cheyenne was born in the South Valley, in the same home as her mother was born in. She volunteers at La Placita Institute, which works in the community to break cycles of youth incarceration. La Placita uses culture, traditional medicine, growing, and art to heal. She also volunteers at Crossroads for Women, whose mission is to empower women emerging from incarceration. Cheyenne co-created the mural that hangs on the outside of the Crossroads building in downtown Albuquerque. Cheyenne's the face for the logo, New Mexico Climate Justice. She has had the privilege of being chosen as one of the official photographers for the People's Juneteenth celebration, which took place at Roosevelt Park on June 19, 2022. She has been participating in the Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta Day of Service every year since she was 4 years old, working alongside Dolores Huerta. She is currently working on 2 books. One is called South Valley, where she is collaborating with Pulitzer Prize nominee Jimmy Santiago Baca, Los Angeles Poet Laureate Luis J. Rodriguez, and the late Pulitzer Prize winner Mary Oliver. The other book is a photo essay about LGBTQ QIP2SAA Two Spirits initiative, working with former Miss Navajo Radmila Cody. Cheyenne has spent time in China, Jordan, Dubai, Mexico, and Ireland, and she also lived in Brooklyn, New York for a few summers. So without further ado, Cheyenne, do you mind introducing yourself or just saying hi?
Hi, my name is Cheyenne, of course. So Istaksitali is actually Narawa, and it's my name. So it's like a formal introduction. So it's Kwalitonali Nitsin no Anatoka Istaksitali. And I'm just really happy to hear about this project. I went through the online site a little bit, and it looked really cool, especially all the art. So I'm just happy to be here.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. I would never have been able to say your Nawa name correctly. So thank you. So you've been clearly involved with social activism and in the community. Could you tell us a little bit more about your experiences and your motivations for what you're up to?
So firstly, when I think of like social activism, I think that everyone is a social activist and everyone is capable of doing this, because it's really just standing up for what you believe in and continuing to push against something that continues to say no to you or is going against what you believe in. So my main goals for these projects is just to bring awareness of the issues that are facing my own community and showing that we aren't just these stereotypes and we aren't just this propaganda of how we are perceived. And the main goal for especially my South Valley book is that we are all coming together as a community to show how beautiful where we live, and we're not like news stories, and we're not just gang violence, but really pushing against that negative stigma.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that bit on that. On the note of your book, South Valley, we were wondering, first of all, that's really quite an achievement. Could you say more about your process in writing the book and how you were thinking about community and art?
So for our book, we chose to do half a page of poetry and the other half a really big, large, I actually have the book with me, so I can show you. So Bill Moore is the artist that we partnered with. So we chose a layout that was a little bit more like very big painting and then poem. And the reason why we chose to do this is because we're hoping to put this children more this book is more targeted for children. Because our main goal is that we can get it eventually into schools and libraries. So young kids can grow up with a book where they're like, oh my God, that's my neighborhood. I can see that. I drive to school past that. That's my elementary school. And along with that, we also incorporated youth poetry. So I reached out to a lot of kids that I grew up with or went to school or I knew from La Placita, just asking if they're interested in putting a poem. And my initial reaction was like, everyone was so excited. They were all like, oh my God, I want to be part of this. Our youngest poet is about 9. And I heard from her dad that she was like so excited to hear about the book that she just like ran home and all she did all weekend long was write poetry. And that's like the moments where I'm like, this is why this book needs to happen, is so we can get more moments like that. Along with that, we also mixed in with well-known poets. So it's not just a giant poetry book full of adult poets, but it's kind of a mixture. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing on that. I think that's wonderful. It's a prime example of what we mean by pluralistic methods, bringing in all these voices to create a wonderful chorus that can only create such a beautiful communal song if when brought together. So thank you for that. That is so wonderful. We are deeply appreciative of your presence today. So thank you for taking time to join us, Cheyenne. And